First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakal Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there in the four quarters of the earth coming into this truth and going out and proclaiming this. Prophesying against Mount Seir and all the wicked kingdoms under the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. And so what we got coming up is another false flag that's going to be done in Syria. And you got the actress Angelina Jolie, who really was the one that taught these white helmets how to act in the first place to stage these events. She's in Mosul right now, you know, and so trying to gather up everything so they can pull off this next false flag, which is to continue their war of terror against Syria. Because we know that America is the sponsor of all the terror groups, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Free Syrian Army, now the Syrian Democratic Forces. You know that America is pretty much the leading of all these terror groups, you know, the white helmets and, you know, who pretty much hide out among the terror groups, you know, and they just, they stage events, you know, to make you believe that Bashar al-Assad is gassing his own people. When we know who gasses his own people, it's Donald J. Trump, who puts chemtrails in the air, puts GMOs in your food, and poisons the water you drink by putting fluoride in it. You know, we know who the real gas-killing animal is, and it's Donald J. Trump, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, you know. And so, you know, they're going to stage this next event, and Russia, Vladimir Putin, Magog, is already warning about this. And then you also got more fighting in Libya as they're trying to get out the terrorists that the United States put in there as well, you know, which are the same terror groups that are in Syria. So they're terrorizing Libya and Syria and of course Iraq. And like everything else though, you know, Angelina Jolie is getting the white helmets ready for their next event, you know, to make everybody believe, because you got to have a good actor in there, you know, because that's all these people are. And then of course you got more bullshit shootings like in fucking Paris and shit, like as if anybody believes that anymore, you know, after Boston bombing and all these other hoaxes, you know, the Paris attacks. Everybody knows that anything that's a part of the Strong Cities network, these are all staged events, you know, because who runs Hollywood? Who runs the news agencies? Amalek, the high elite of Esau, Edom, you know. So anyhow, I'm going to read out of one of my favorite chapters, and if you're an Israelite, part of the elect, and you love this chapter too. This is Revelation chapter 17. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials. What are the seven vials? Well, that is when the thermonuclear destruction is brought upon Babylon the Great, America. And talked with me, saying, Come hither, and I will show thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. That's talking about America, because America is the head, the whore that sits on many waters, you know, pretty much that, you know, governs almost everything. I will show thee judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. In other words, bought into all their philosophies and, you know, implemented things, you know, changed their customs, you know, pretty much became queers, if you will. So he carried me away in the spirit of the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And that's, of course, talking about EU, the beast, and, of course, Nato. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Yeah, this is where they have all that gender-neutral shit, lesbian, gay, bisexual bullshit, you know, all the filthiness, you know. This is the place, America, Babylon the Great. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. So, you know, pretty much America, who's run by Amalek, you know, is the leader of all the filthy abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And I saw her, and I wondered with great admiration. Meaning that, it's like, how in the hell did this happen? How did they take down Gad? How did they take down all 12 tribes? And that's what John was seeing. And I saw and the angel said unto me, where didst thou marvel? I will tell you the mystery of the woman, which is talking about America, Babylon the Great, and of the beast that carrieth her, that is the UN NATO, and hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Talking about the UN NATO, and of course the EU. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. That is when these cave dwellers came out of the pit and came out of their prison, came out of the caves, and came down and started to conquer. And go into perdition, and they that dwell on the earth who shall wander, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, where they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And that is what form, because the first beast is the Roman Empire, and now you're in the revised Roman Empire, better known as the second beast. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads and 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space. It's talking about Esau, the so-called white man, and we're in that short space now, where he's in rulership with the whore, Babylon the Great, America. And the beast that was and is not, and even he is the 8th, is of the 7 and goeth into perdition, and that's talking about Esau. And the 10 horns which thou sawest were 10 kings who had received no kingdom as of yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Pretty much the UN NATO, when they go and do their things. And that's the EU also. They have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Everybody gives their power over to the UN. They shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. And this is talking about that hour. When Babylon the Great, America is destroyed, and when they shall come against Yahweh Shai and the angels, which are them chariots. That's what this hour is talking about. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. That is talking about the elect in 1/3, which hopefully we're part of that elect. And we always say that because, we don't know until the very end of this, but we hope to be part of that elect. And he saith unto me, thou waters which thou sawest where the horse sitteth, and peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. It's talking about America, Babylon the Great. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, they shall hate the whore, and make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That is, when they turn. And they, because of these goddamn tariffs and shit, they're ready to turn. They're ready to say, you know what? Fuck America. We're going to burn this place down to the ground. We are sick of them. We are sick of them tariffs. It's like Donald J. Trump. We ain't listening to him anymore. And the 10 horns that sawest the beast shall... Okay. For Yahweh putteth in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, which is the UN, NATO, EU, until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, talking about America, Babylon the Great, who reigneth over the kings of the earth. And we're at the final stages of this, where pretty much all these nations, these so-called allies, are sick of America. They want America out. They are tired of America running everything. Because what does America do? They stealeth all of their resources, and pretty much, they don't have any means of survival. Iraq is totally desolate, Libya, and they've done the same with Syria. They partitioned Syria, and so, but they haven't gotten Syria all the way. So they're about to stage another false flag chemical weapons attack, with the white helmets, and you got Angelina Jolie in Mosul preparing to stage these events. And, well, we're just going to see that very shortly here, And, of course, like most dumb people, they believe everything they see on TV is real because, of course, these Amalekites, these fake-ass Jews, make you believe it's real because, fuck, they already own everything. These Rothschilds control everything. But pretty much, it's their illusion. It's their crystal ball. It's their witchcraft, their sorcery. The main source of sorcery is controlling all the media outlets. You know, pretty much you've been indoctrinated from the day you were born to believing everything, but now it's all coming out. This internet, this unicorn, is exposing everything. And pretty much it has made Esau bare. Everybody sees the nakedness of the whore, Babylon the Great. And they are tired of it, and they're about ready to burn her with fire. So I hope this has been edifying, you know, as we know that soon our captivity will be over. Our sentence will be done. It should have been done a long time ago. We should have been set free. But Emancipation Proclamation was not setting we captives free. It was in fact further enslaving us. Because if you listen to the original words of the national anthem, the full-length version, they were never going to let the slaves go. And they haven't let the slaves go. The slaves are the Israelites, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the confusion of faith that be among them. And so, like everything else, our captivity is coming to its end, and Esau is now starting to feel some of that. He is more homeless than we are now. He's asking Jake for money now. You know? He's starting to feel that. And most Edomites, they can't even take it. They're going to jump off a building and commit suicide because they find out they ain't got their $1 million anymore. You know, that their economy has crashed. And it's a fun thing to see how they like trading places with us. We were kings of the earth. Now these kings of the earth are nothing more than just pretty much trash, and they're ending their lives for it. Shalom.